It's happening right now. The Social Security fraud crackdown that we warned about has officially begun. And let me tell you something, it's way bigger than anyone expected. In fact, 2 arrests may seem small, but they're just the start. In fact, because sources say inside that this is just the first wave of what Elon Musk and Pam Bondi are calling the deep sweep. Now, in today's video, you're going to hear exactly how a single lie about a fake marriage triggered this federal investigation, and how one dating app, I don't know if you guys are familiar with some of these dating apps, this dating app, the romance turned into a $3 million money laundering scheme involving stolen retirement checks, pandemic funds. It goes on and on and on. But here's the kicker, guys. These weren't your average criminals. One was a disabled adult child that was collecting years and years of checks. And the other one, well, it was a man that was running this encrypted laundering operation through gift cards and cryptocurrency right under the federal government's nose. And yes, this is just the beginning. In fact, Elon Musk's team hasn't even rolled out the full plan yet. So what's coming next, guys? This might shake the entire Social Security system right to its core. So stick with me, guys, because in just a few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly when the next wave of arrests could hit and how even innocent people could get swept up in the storm if they're not careful. You don't want to go to jail for this, do you? Yeah. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I am sharing this information, and I do want you guys to protect yourself, okay? So let's go ahead and break it down, because I think that what's happening right now could change how Social Security fraud is tracked forever. Now, first of all, before we even begin, I don't want anybody to panic here. If you're obtaining Social Security benefits legally, you have nothing to worry about. I just want to go ahead and put that out there right now. But there are some things we need to be aware of. And so that's the whole point of this video here. If you guys appreciate the updates, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Now, if you thought Social Security fraud was just some shady neighbor that was like pocketing an extra $500 a month, well, I think that this next case is going to blow that idea wide the heck open. Okay. So picture this. A man in Queens, New York. He's sitting behind a computer surrounded by stacks of debit cards, prepaid gift cards, burner cell phones. Now, on the surface, just another face in the crowd. You wouldn't even notice the guy. But behind the screen, Zing Zhang was moving nearly $3 million in stolen federal funds, piece by piece, through one of the most advanced laundering networks the SSA has ever seen. And so here's what we know. Zhang worked with a partner, someone known only by fake names like Christian Dilva and Christian Hernandez, right? So together they were filing these fraudulent claims using stolen identities of real people, including retirees who hadn't even applied for their benefits yet. So they're screwing over the retirees that have been paying into the system and doing the right thing. Let that sink in for a second, right? That's pretty messed up. Well, on top of that, they were targeting high-wage Americans over the age of 62, people who had worked their entire lives, but they hadn't yet claimed Social Security. Why? Because their accounts were still untouched, kind of like an unlocked safe. And so they filed fake claims on their behalf, and they routed the money into dozens and dozens of these fake bank accounts. Then they went ahead and turned the cash into cryptocurrency. And you all know about cryptocurrency, like you can't really trace it, and it's like decentralized and all that. I don't know if it's Bitcoin or or Ethereum or what, but they turned all this cash into cryptocurrency, trying to erase the paper trail forever because they didn't want to get caught, of course, right? But wait, it gets even crazier. So Zhang wasn't just laundering government checks. It was more than that. In fact, he was buying and flipping over 1,500 gift cards, debit cards loaded with all sorts of stolen funds in exchange for crypto payouts. That's $2.98 million gone, digitized, anonymized, and he took a 25% cut on every single transaction. And we're talking nearly, this was like a daily operation he was running. And the only reason it even got like unraveled, his partner, Christian, he brought somebody else into the ring. This is some woman he met on a dating app. That's where it all started to fall apart. And if it wasn't for her, they might still be doing this thing. So let's talk about her. So her name is like, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like, let's just call her Ortiz, right? So Mary Ortiz, right? Anyway, so the name really doesn't even matter, but the woman loved the man and ultimately paid the price. So just imagine you're scrolling on your phone, you swipe right on one of these dating apps, and you start chatting. Now, I don't know if you even trust these dating apps. If you do, if you don't, that's on you. But this is what happened. He's charming, mysterious. He says he's involved in finance. He asks you if you want to help with a little project. So what would you say? You meet somebody on the dating app. They claim to be in finance. He asked, do you want to help out with a project? Would you say yes? Would you say no? Anyway, so this is how Ortiz of Philadelphia got pulled into one of the largest SSA laundering schemes in recent memory. Now, she wasn't some career criminal. She wasn't on the dark web. She was just in love. So I'm going to ask you guys later if you think that she should be arrested and serve prison time, but we'll get to that, right? So that love ended up turning toxic real fast. So under Christian's direction, Ortiz opened up 10 separate bank accounts to collect fraudulent SSA and unemployment funds. Also purchased thousands of dollars in gift cards using stolen funds, texted, called, and even transferred account data using encrypted apps so her boyfriend could drain the cash. And then even handed over these debit cards so that he could flip the money for crypto and vanish without a trace. Now, I got to ask, she's not a career criminal or anything like that. Even if she's not, don't you think that she should have realized that, hey, this doesn't sound legit, like this doesn't sound above board. So I get she might have stumbled into something she didn't realize she was being pulled into. But at what point can you continue to claim like innocence and being naive, and then actually, at what point does that line get crossed and you have to say, look, you knew you were doing something that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering. Anyway, so she helped process nearly like $700,000 in stolen funds, and the kicker, she admitted to all of it. In court, she confessed to filing these fake claims herself. She admitted that she knew that the money was stolen, but still, she was sentenced to just 1 day in prison. Just 1 day. Now, I want to ask you guys, given what you know about this situation, do you think that this was fair? It wasn't her idea, but she did get pulled in. But then, there were some questionable things, maybe she didn't know, or because she admitted it, but it's not like she orchestrated it. I don't know. Let me know if you think 1 day is enough. Was it too much? Should she have gotten more time? But anyway, here's where it gets real complicated. Was she manipulated? Maybe. Was she a pawn? Probably. But here's the hard truth. She still helped steal taxpayer dollars that were meant for unemployed Americans and vulnerable retirees. So her sentence, it raises some serious questions, right? Are smaller players getting let off easy so that the government can go after the bigger fish like Zhang and Christian? Or is this just the calm before the storm? Because remember, Zhang's case alone involved over 23 different victims, multiple states, and multiple layers of deception, all happening while the country was in the middle of a crisis. And right now, Elon Musk And his team, his Doge team, is building technology that could find hundreds, maybe even thousands more just like them. So even though Elon Musk is leaving Doge, or is scheduled to leave Doge, I think May 1st, 2025, the Doge team will continue to do the work that they need to do. Now, we're not talking about some old school fraud anymore. This is getting way more crazy and elaborate. And we're talking cross-agency surveillance, AI-powered audits, and deep digital investigations that trace even your grocery store receipt back to a fraud claim. These guys are getting good. And in the next part of this discussion, I do want to talk about a little bit more of a simpler case. So this lady here, she didn't use crypto. She didn't launder millions of dollars. She just kind of kept lying in order to keep her monthly checks coming in. So it was a small scale fraud compared to the first one we talked about. Anyway, she got nailed. And this is only the beginning, though. I mean, just wait till we talk about Crystal Jazira's secret marriage scam and why the SSA is tightening the noose on even the smallest infractions. By the way, guys, if you appreciate the updates, or if you're just now joining the live, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. But let's go ahead and shift from millions in crypto to a lie that could have slipped right under the radar, but it didn't. So let me introduce you to Crystal Jazira of Quincy, Massachusetts. No fake identities, no crypto laundering, just some woman who thought that she could outsmart the system by hiding one little detail: her marriage. So Crystal had been receiving Disabled Adult Child Benefits, or DAC, or DAC, from the SSA since 2005. Well, these benefits are specifically for individuals who became disabled before age 22 and who are financially dependent on their parents. But of course, there are rules that have to be followed. So here's the rule. Once you get married, with rare exceptions, you're no longer eligible for DAC. The government assumes that your spouse can now help support you. So then the SSA cuts you off. Well, Crystal got married in 2013, and for 9 years, she never told the SSA. In fact, she even went the extra mile to cover it up. She ignored multiple written notices reminding her to report any change in marital status, submitted forms and affidavits calling her husband a friend or a roommate and not a husband. She also flat out denied knowing about the marriage when SSA investigators showed up at her house. That last part, that is when the game ended. She was caught. She pleaded guilty to misdemeanor theft of government funds and was ultimately sentenced to 3 years probation, and was ordered to pay back $93,063 in stolen benefits. Now, she didn't have to serve any jail time. 3 years probation. So I got to ask you guys again. Was that an adequate punishment? Was it too much punishment? Was it not enough? Y'all let me know. Now, you might be thinking, that's nothing compared to the other cases, right? But here's why this matters. This is exactly the type of micro level fraud that Elon Musk and the Doge team and Pam Bondi are now setting their sights on. They're not only coming after the $3 million crypto rings. They're coming after the little lies, the unchecked marriages, the false roommate claims, the photos on Facebook that contradict what you wrote on a government form. I'm just saying, because it's not about the amount, it's about the precedent. People have to respect the system, and Elon Musk and Pam Bondi, I don't think they're playing here. They're unleashing the fury of the Department of Government Efficiency on the fraudsters. And it's about showing the public that no level of fraud is too small to be punished. So, I mean, here's what you need to understand. Number one, gift cards are now a red flag. The government's watching purchases, serial numbers, who's sending what to whom and how much. They used to be anonymous, but not anymore. Identity theft, This isn't just targeting seniors, guys. These fraud rings are now targeting high income earners over the age of 62 years old who haven't filed for retirement benefits yet. And if this is you, or if it's someone you love, you may be a walking target without even knowing about it. So make sure you tell your family, tell your friends about this whole situation so that they don't get caught up in this, right? No one needs to find out that their benefits have been stolen before they can even get the chance to use them, right? But also the SSA is activating CDI units like never before. Like, these aren't just paper pushers. These are field agents that are trained to show up at your door, review your social media profiles, all up in your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your TikToks. They're matching photos, emails, living situations, financial behavior. They're looking at everything. And also, AI systems, they're scanning public records, online footprints, and these government databases in real time. They're stitching together fraud patterns like a cybercrime detective on steroids. And yes, this is a real concern that even innocent people could, in fact, get caught up in the dragnet if they don't know how to protect themselves. Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I just want you guys to understand like what's happening. Arrests are being made. And this is even before Elon Musk's team actually starts catching people, because all of these arrests that we're talking about here, these people were identified before Elon Musk even started working. So once Elon Musk and his Doge team actually starts really identifying people, we're going to see way more stories like this. And I'm pretty sure every one of these stories are going to get more and more interesting because everyone has a different way of doing things and how they got caught. Anyway, but here's what the officials had to say. They said the millions of dollars fraudulently obtained in this case were intended to support struggling Americans, not to line the pockets of those driven by greed. So this was from the FBI special agent in charge. He went on to say that the sentence holds Mr. Zhang accountable for stealing money from rightful beneficiaries who rely on these funds to survive. He also added that Colleen Law from the SSA, Office of Inspector General, or the OIG, and this is one from the Department of Labor, and it really does drive things home here. It goes on to say, our office will continue to protect the integrity of these systems and dismantle criminal schemes that rob American taxpayers. So people keep saying, hey, people who don't trust Elon Musk, people who don't believe in what the Doge team is doing, people who, I don't know, the Doge team, Tesla, they've been getting a lot of hate. They've been getting attacked, right? But for people who are saying that there's no fraud in the SSA, how can you say that after I've made this video, right? I think the truth of the matter is that it's really happening every day. Elon Musk said that since he's been leading the Doge team, he's identified like 40% of the inbound phone calls that the Social Security Administration receives are fraudsters. And the scale is bigger and it's more sophisticated than most people could even imagine. So if you're on Social Security benefits, maybe you're helping someone on Social Security benefits, or maybe just planning for retirement, I think you need to understand what's coming. Now, clearly, we're in the early stages of the largest Social Security fraud sweep in U.S. history. And if you don't understand the rules, if you don't understand the risks or your rights, you could possibly become collateral damage. Because you got to understand, you ever call maybe a 1-800 number, or you need to call your cell phone company, or you need to call your bank, and there's an automated system, and you reply to the prompts verbally, but it doesn't hear what you said properly. You get routed to the wrong department. Well, imagine that, but on a bigger scale when it comes to Social Security. The Doge team is building algorithms to be able to find anomalies and things that look suspicious. So whenever you have these algorithms and machine learning, it can easily mistakenly flag an account that's innocent, but it kind of looks suspicious to the AI. And this is how innocent people can get caught up in this. So I just want you guys to be aware of what's going on so that you can protect yourselves, so that you can protect your family. That's the whole point of this, right? But anyway, so if you're serious about protecting yourself and your family and your financial future, feel free to join our private group, the Liberty Pursuit Network. We're breaking down how to get out of debt, how to build wealth, how to navigate the new digital enforcement era. You can also get access to our course, Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck, and learn how to create financial freedom before the whole crackdown gets worse. Obviously, I'll leave some links for you guys in the description down below, but get in while you can. And remember, guys, this is just the beginning. In fact, I think that the sweep has only just started. In the eyes of the government, they're watching everything. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll see you on the next one.